commercial enterprise.
I think we've talked about that before.
He runs a state farm insurance business here.
And, okay.
Were you aware of that?
And we're out on sun-drenched Southwest 29th
And it's
Street.
hot. It warmed up. I'm a little. I feel like opening the door to the Glass Houses studio. Well, I'm sporting my
this is a little
Eric O'Neill hat.
Who's that?
Eric O'Neill is the excavator that's tearing down the most infamous real estate property I've ever worked on.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never made the front page of a paper because I had to evict a guy legally that had been constructively evicted by the city of Topeka, but like a year and 2 months ago or before.
What? So this guy is demoing
the famous house
the lovely home at 21st and Adams.
Yes, and it stinks. I mean, you know how old buildings it doesn't have anything to do.
It stinks.
Well, it's the do you know that when old houses are demoed, it has the wood that is dried and been wet and dried. Old houses just smell.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a personal thing there, JoJo. But I've never made the front page of the paper for evicting a guy. And I wasn't even the property manager.
Right. You got real lucky on that one.
I know. And I'm in court, and that's actually the first time I'd ever met the occupant. And he just very humbly says to the judge, he goes, I think Mr. McClure and the city of Topeka have some sort of conflict, and I'm caught in the middle of it.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. He was. Hey, good to see you.
You betcha.
Hey, tell me, let's talk about these acres and acres of land you've got. You're a big deal.
I'm not a big deal, but the land that we're talking about could be a big deal.
How many acres total?
And we've got in Osage County, just north of Linden and just east of Highway 75. And I'm not going to get into breaking down how much is tillable and all that stuff because it's on the county appraisal. But
wait a minute.
We got 200.
What, you got too much time? Or?
200. Well, I'm just getting my arms around this list.
Okay.
And I'm not,
I understand that.
I'm not really an ag guy.
But let's become ag guys.
232 acres.
I want to sell this to Elon Musk.
Well, I don't know about Elon, but there are a lot of Amish people in the area.
Oh, really?
There's a pretty substantial influx.
The Amish in Pennsylvania.
Of our Amish brethren who are moving into Osage, and I've been told Coffee County as well.
God bless the Amish.
They are buying farm ground. Now,
my favorite holiday in Amish is Rumspringa.
Yeah. Want to say hi to Dave Stevens.
Hey, Dave Stevens.
He's
now, wait a minute. I know Dave Stevens. I know a lot of Dave Stevens.
Dave used to be in the beer business.
Beer?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I used to love beer.
He sold a couple of cans of Coors beer every now and then. But anyway.
I liked the guy that was a Denver Bronco.
That's Eldon.
Eldon Dannenhauer.
Yeah, I think Dave was working for him.
Yeah, I liked Eldon.
Time. I'm pretty sure. I could be
So
wrong.
I leased...
so anyway, 232 acres.
Okay.
Between...
I had an Eldon story.
Let's
come back.
Yeah. Between 197th and 205th, just east of
197? What's the list price on that?
And the list price, I want to say, is $5,000 an acre. All this ground is either $5,000 an acre or $5,200 an acre.
Okay.
And I've been told by a gentleman who has been leasing some of the tillable ground that that's not an unreasonable price. We have 300 acres in Coffee County, close to the New Strawn metropolitan area.
Hey, why is New Strawn famous?
New Strawn's incredible. It's a community, I believe. This is just my theory. But you go down there and there's all these fairly new houses that I think were developed for people who work at Wolf Creek.
Oh, okay.
It's right by Wolf Creek. And these two tracks, one of them's on Iris Road, and and the other's on 17th Road.
We
And,
ought to take the show on the road.
well, it's beautiful country.
Let's
down there.
do that.
It's kind of out on the edge of the Flint Hills. And as you drive down towards Coffee County, you might have noticed at some point off to the left, there's all these windmills. I don't
Oh
know,
yeah,
is that
I'm
what they're
not for
called?
that.
Huh?
You mean the power? I'm not for those windmills, but
I'm not a big fan either. They're kind of freaky looking.
I don't like them.
They kind of have this vaguely ominous, apocalyptic appearance.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the wind. Those type.
But yeah, I sold a house down in Coffee County on Quail Lane earlier, and while
On any acreage.
now that was 5 acres,
Okay.
and
What did that go for?
that was a fixer upper that went for 150 grand,
Okay.
and
And how much fixing upper did it need?
it needed quite a bit.
So it was a project.
It was definitely a project, but it had one of these huge, I want to say 24 by 40-foot outbuildings.
So will you cooperate with other brokers on your land deals?
We will
Well, how much will you pay us?
on well, that's up to the buyer. We will work with buyers brokers.
Oh,
But
bullshit.
It's up to the buyer to pay. The
Not in
buyer's
my
broker.
world.
Well, in my seller's world, that's.
So you're not paying brokers.
But it's
So
like
just say no.
it's like you go down, you get say these auctioneers that distribute all this information about property,
Right.
like say a house. There was a house recently on Topeka Boulevard, and this auctioneer was offering a co-op fee of $200.
Huh.
$200.
Well, you're offering nothing, so
Well-
that guy. I want to talk to that guy.
What I'm saying is, for when you tell me that you want me to help you sell your property, but you're only going to pay me $200. I mean, I'd rather be,
That's what you do.
huh?
You give him directions.
You know,
You got to raise the price up.
so our thinking is rather than insulting somebody by saying, well,
I'm not afraid to do that.
we'll give you $200 or we'll give you 1% or whatever.
You got a call coming in.
Yeah, I know.
I can hear it.
I can't take a call and do this at the same
I
time.
can hear it through your hearing aids.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Is it you got to make money?
no.
Because we can pause the show.
The guy calling was my Timberly tipster.
The Timberly tips.
I was getting the lowdown on Timberly long
Oh,
before
is that JoJo?
the article hit the newspaper. We
You know,
we do have a lot of Topeka
but no, I want to
stories.
talk about your land listings, and
Well, they're interesting listings.
but so you've bought into all that lawsuit stuff about buyer and seller, who's paying what, and I don't mind that.
Well,
First, let
quite
me tell you
frankly,
something.
The lawsuit doesn't have anything to do with this listing. I just
No,
have
I know
I
that.
just have a seller who doesn't want. My seller
He'll pay you
has been influenced by the
the lawsuit.
toxic nonsense spewed by the auctioneering industry.
Oh,
This all began with him noticing how these auctioneers are saying things like the buyer has to pay for their own title insurance, and the buyer has to pay their own closing costs, and the buyer has to pay
okay. Hang on
the
a
buyer
second.
brokerage.
Hang on.
That's
So,
where he picked up all this stuff.
Hey, do you want a water?
No, I've got plenty to
You
drink.
got plenty to drink.
I've got coffee.
I'm really
I've got
disappointed.
Diet
You
Coke.
shouldn't drink that. That's gonna kill you.
Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Well,
Read what Gundry says
now
about
that I'm
soda.
74, I don't care if it kills me. I've lived long
You-
enough.
Don't you have anything to live for?
Um,
Hey, call in. Let's talk. Hey, next thing you know, get a job in the healthcare industry.
I'm living on
Because
borrowed
that way,
time
yeah,
anyway.
become a CEO of a healthcare company.
Uh-oh. There we go. I just did something to the feed here.
So you want to go back live and reboot it?
Well, no, I'm still live. I'm on this thing of stickers should stay within the box. I accidentally hit something about emojis. See,
All right.
okay. I hit the back button. That's
You know, I
fine
put a
now.
post up about that guy that got killed, the healthcare guy.
Oh, why did you do that?
Well, because uh, there's 41% of all people under 30 think it's acceptable.
What?
Yeah.
I'm sort of out of the loop on that particular thing.
Well, it's a bad. I mean, and
Where do you get this 41%?
it just came from a poll at random.
Really?
Yeah.
They think it's okay?
Yeah.
Well,
41% of kids under 30, and then somebody posted on there to go, well, why isn't that okay? And I
why
go,
isn't that okay?
well, yeah. I go, well, what? Let's say murder's not okay.
It's not.
What do you like? What you see over there?
I was just checking it out. But
You're a handsome fella.
you know, if we can just talk about this for just a brief
1
moment.
second.
Um, part of this, I think, has to do with rising resentment about billionaires in general. Because remember when the billionaires in the submarine that they were going to like turn the Titanic into a little tourist attraction for billionaires, and they were going to go down in their own private submarine and look at the Titanic, and then the submarine imploded, and
With billionaires on it.
with billionaires on board, and they
And
all
they thought-
died.
And they thought that was okay.
There was a lot of chatter on Facebook from people who thought they didn't think it was okay. They thought it was funny.
Hey, Zuckerberg, I don't think
So-
you're the neatest thing, but you're a billionaire. So just give free speech.
I mean, I'm all in favor of, say, sinking Jeffrey Bezos's yacht, super yacht.
Why?
I'd love it to death if his super yacht sank, because I hate Amazon.
I love Amazon.
The only thing that I truly hate about American commerce is Amazon.
The
but
one thing
I don't want it sunk with him on it.
But why?
Let's
okay,
be clear.
Are you talking about because it takes away business from local merchants?
Absolutely.
But
every time you buy something on Amazon, you're taking sales tax dollars, you're taking employee with tax withholding dollars, you're taking property tax dollars out of
But
Topeka,
don't you want the
Kansas.
right to choose?
I didn't say I didn't want the right to choose. I just said I hate Amazon.
I love Amazon.
Well,
You
anyway,
know, somebody said they were
Anyway.
talking about our show, and they go, you know, Marshall and Henry, that's an interesting group.
That's an-
The antithesis of Henry.
yeah. Well,
He hates Amazon.
I'm
Sean Hannity, remember Hannity and Combs?
sure.
Yeah, Hannity still got a show,
Yeah. Well,
Mr. Combs.
yeah.
But
Well, I never had a show, so.
well,
but
so
there-
don't
there-
buy a yacht, and don't become a healthcare guy, and then you're gonna live longer. Quit
I'm
drinking
not
Diet
saying-
Coke.
I'm not saying I want Jeff Bezos to die. I'm just saying it'd be funny if somebody sank. His
I just
super
want to
yacht.
meet his ex-wife,
But yeah. There's a few,
and there's that.
yeah. But I noticed earlier this year during the submarine sinking story that there's a lot of Schadenfreude regarding
I love that word.
Schadenfreude regarding billionaires' demise. So I think this thing that you're talking about has as much to do with the fact there are two things. A, he's a billionaire. Actually, A, he's a healthcare billionaire, and B, he's a billionaire. But I agree with you. I mean, it's you can't have this where people just
No,
go-
and
go-
I'm telling you,
because who are they going to shoot next? Real estate agents?
they're coming for us.
They're
They, hey, look, you're not work. The auctioneers got it right. They're only working for $200.
yeah.
But it's like don't resent Jim Klossman and Cody Foster for them just being Jim Klossman and Cody Foster. And
Who's doing that?
well, a lot of people do.
Not me.
Well, I got to thinking about it. It's like, quit blaming them about city council and county commissioners. It's the government that's the problem. If a guy, hey, have you ever run a stop sign?
No comment.
Okay, but let's say you ran a stop sign. Would you ever go into the sheriff department, if say it happened in
Turn
the county,
yourself in.
and say, you know, I ran a stop sign. I'd really like to pay the fine.
Well, if I were dead ass broke and looking for a place to feed, clothe, and house me,
You
for
mean
a
a
while,
notice?
I might go in and say, hey man,
And go pull a notice.
I'm ready to go to jail. All the bad things I've done.
You know, Otis
you know
was
what?
smart.
You know what? I just done run a whole bunch of them there stop signs.
Otis got hammered, and then he goes checks into jail, so he doesn't have to listen to his wife nag.
There you go.
And I think on that show, he was the only guy married.
Oh yeah.
But I never met
That's a good
Mrs.
point.
Otis.
Huh?
Wonder what she looked like.
She,
She must not have been very good if she didn't even look good drunk.
she probably made Aunt B look like a beauty queen.
Hey, Aunt B was a hottie. Otis was always over there knocking on her door,
But-
sniffing around for some of that pie.
You invoked the name of Jim Klossman.
Yeah.
Isn't he the developer who the city has a contract to develop the 3 properties on Shenandoah Court with? Because there's those
3?
yeah.
I thought he had 16 properties.
Well, there are 3 lots that the city bought at the tax sale.
Probably.
There's a news story about the city council Tuesday night voting to extend till March a timeline for negotiating the contract to develop 3 properties on Shenandoah Court.
Well,
And-
okay.
and-
So let's say this. I mean, nobody else has stepped up, but the city never really opened that up, did they? To like,
I don't know. I've got no idea.
but you can't get mad at a guy because he's got a better deal than you. Just get in there and make a deal.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't get mad at a guy because he's the only one making a deal.
Right.
But no, this was just,
I mean, see, oh, did you see the Jetto meeting?
no.
And we were supposed to talk about nothing but real estate, I promised you. But
Well,
in Topeka, Kansas,
We do have
real estate
notes.
and the government are one and the same in a lot of ways.
Well, the other big real estate story involving city government was this article that came out about all the bids for the hotel. And now I don't know if this news story included the offer that you were aware of.
No, that I was told that my guy's offer is in there,
Okay.
7.1 million.
What was the name of the?
His name's Chad.
Well,
That's
let's
all-
see.
That's his. It was his handle.
The offers they discuss are.
Who's that?
That's not.
Is that
part of it.
Bezos?
Yeah, that has.
I'm gonna go get a water. You keep talking. Sure, you don't want one?
One offer was from somebody named Dave Sander, president of Commercial Group Inc. A basic deal struck. Yeah, okay. Well, this is a deal to purchase and convert the hotel to a DoubleTree by Hilton. The developer would acquire the hotel for 15 million. The city of Topeka would offer the developer 15 million in economic development grants, and the city would offer a 20-year property tax increment financing deal. And you've done tax increment
Yes.
financing, starting in year 2 after converting to DoubleTree. That's from Dave Sandier. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah,
name?
and I think Dave Sandier has got the wherewithal to make that deal.
And isn't he kind of hooked up with Cody Foster?
In what?
Well, just financially.
We
Then
should, we shouldn't be spreading rumors like that on
There's
this show.
1717 Realty Corp. They're saying these guys offered to pay $2 million towards the city's debt on it. And that apparently was the extent of their offer. Were those your people?
No.
And the city rejected their offer, and their response was, this is kind of amusing. We find it extremely difficult to believe that Topeka is vested in this project without having a personal interaction to make a successful deal versus bid on a deal. So that was 1717 Realty. Now there's
the same guy. He likes Amazon.
there's probably, yeah, he thinks he can buy the hotel on Amazon. That's
Was it
maybe-
listed?
Maybe that's what it'll come down to. There's another guy named Chada.
Yeah, that's my guy. I think. What's his last name?
Well, that is his last name.
Oh,
Ursad.
okay. How much did he offer?
It said $6 million with a $1.5 million down payment. He owns a local company, Topeka Corporate LLC. 25 years in the hotel business.
No, I guess that's not my guy.
And then we had Chris Stemler with Topeka Core Community Development
He
Corp.
owns the. I like that guy. He owns the Beacon.
Okay, well, he says wants to take over as a nonprofit, convert it to DoubleTree. The city guarantees a loan for renovation, and then property tax is structured to pay back the city over 20 years. So apparently, the city is supposed to guarantee a loan that
I don't want anybody coming into my office telling me about we're going to be a not-for-profit.
Well, okay, he probably won't be coming here. And
Or there.
at a final part of that offer, an advisory board staffed by Topekans would recommend monthly status updates. Now, see, you and I could be on that advisory
Hey, we could do
board.
the Topeka factor right
We're-
from the board meeting.
We're advisory board material right here, sports fans.
Yes, sir.
And
Hey, did you accept your board position on
Jim-
Agape Village?
well, Jim Willard would agree that we are
Big Jim?
advisory board material.
Does Jim know
Yeah,
Henry
I'll
McClure?
accept that.
Okay, good.
Want to say hi to Mary Jane Pryor.
Hey, Mary Jane, how's Billy? How's Billy Pryor?
You know, I think I forgot to send them a Christmas card.
Okay, well, let's just. Who
Oh.
is it? Mary Jane Pryor?
Yeah.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We
And
wish
that's
you a
why-
Merry Christmas and all the Pryor family.
And that's why we're going to stop
That's all I got.
singing. Anyway, there's more here.
More.
But wait, there's more. Full service hospitality has offered to take over. You'll like this one. They've offered to take over the hotel's operation with no purchase price. Estimated renovation cost $15 million. Full service hospitality would take out a loan for $10 million of the expected renovation cost and inject about $3.5 million cash into the project. The company also requested that the city offer all of the hotel tax, property tax, and TIF incentives for 20 years or until the investment is paid back. I'm not sure what to make of that. And finally, there was something from somebody called the Endeavor Hotel Group, which they didn't make a formal offer on the hotel. They just said they expect a full scope renovation of Hotel Topeka to cost $7.25 million and believes $10 million in funding will be needed.
Okay, so here's how it went down from my perspective.
And then there's one more.
Okay.
The Sarhan Hotel Group, Sarhan.
Sarhan Sirhan?
Yeah, a letter of intent to purchase the hotel for $6 million. And they request that the city provide tax incentives and pay for full-time security.
You know, the KBI doesn't even feel safe at that corner.
Right. They,
Did they issue the KBI handguns?
what?
Well, I mean, hey, if you work for the KBI, shouldn't you get a gun?
Well,
You shouldn't be intimidated.
yeah, just give them all. Yeah.
Hey, look, we're issuing you new firearms and walk to your car with
Want
the
to say
gun.
hi to Annette. This, by the way, is Facebook Live.
This is the Topeka factor.
It's the Topeka Factor on my Facebook Live. It's also, how many outlets are we streaming on right
Well,
now?
what we do with mine is I've got a guy, MD. MD downloads the live show,
Okay.
and then he'll put the search engine optimization in it, and put some graphics on the front, and he uploads it to YouTube.
So we're on YouTube.
Yeah, and YouTube, what I like about YouTube is the channel gets much more longer views than on Facebook.
Yeah, the Facebook thing is pretty ephemeral. And
Whoa. But I'm telling you, I'm pretty amazed by the coverage we're getting. My Facebook page in the last 90 days had 438,000 views.
wow.
Yeah. So look, I'm offering Henry McClure Live services. You can come into the Topeka Factor. We'll pull up a chair. We'll start talking about stuff. Hey, don't show my
I
board.
didn't.
Okay. I sat down in here the other day.
Instead, I'll focus. You've got a nice thing up here from the mayor. Don't sit back and watch others make decisions about the place you work and live. Be part of the conversation. so it ends up being the future you dream of as well.
Yeah,
Now that's
Mike
pretty.
Padilla.
That's pretty inspirational.
He had I gave him last year for Christmas a Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure he was flattered.
Well, I think he read them.
Yeah.
I kind of like the guy. He's a likable guy. He's not a leader, but
I keep threatening to go down to a city commission meeting on Tuesday night,
council,
but well, I still
county
call it,
commission,
yeah, it's a county.
city
Yeah.
council.
Did you go to the county commission meeting this
No,
morning?
you know I'm not going anymore. I watch them all on my own time. Why go down and talk to a bunch of oafs that won't
Yeah.
listen to you?
Well, yeah.
Your voice really doesn't. This is bullshit. Your voice doesn't mean anything in Topeka, Kansas. You know, you got to be a member of the Greater Topeka Partnership. You got to be at the board meetings there. You got to donate your money there. And everything's pre-decided at the chamber, the Greater Topeka Partnership, and if you're on the board of Go Topeka. It's all settled there. They run the city. It's not
Well,
us.
Since,
Or it's not this guy.
since we've decided that we're advisory board material, why don't we just go and get on that board too?
I'm telling you, there's right now Shawnee County is not living up to the state statute of this citizens committee. And we got to get that citizens committee going. One of my
Okay.
research people actually wrote the governor, and the governor gave us a response, and we're working on it. Good job, Rhonda.
Okay.
And then Bill Rapon keeps creeping on her
What?
LinkedIn page.
What?
She's looked at her LinkedIn page like 8 times.
Really? Now, when does
And
his
she feels uncomfortable about
when? Well, I would. When does his seat come up for election?
it. None too soon,
Well, let's see.
because we want to get his slick ass out of there. He almost grew a nutsack
Did they-
the other day.
2026.
Yeah, he almost. It looked like he didn't want to vote to give that money to Cody Foster. He wanted to kick the can. And same with Aaron Mays. I had hope.
What kind of money? What are we talking about here?
Well, have you heard about BioRealty?
No.
Okay, so we dumped $1 million. The taxpayers dumped $1 million into the Wolf building, Wolf camera.
Oh yeah, 7th in Kansas.
Yes, and then they were going to get
We
BioRealty.
dumped $1 million into that.
Yeah, of Go Topeka, grow the tax base and increase the population. You know
So
that
they said.
money.
Yes.
That's what that money. So, like from now on, if I could just get people when they hear Go Topeka, who Molly admitted at that meeting, there's $2.5 million going to her overhead. But if you read the annual report, it's 3.5. Doge, baby, Shawnee County Doge. We got to get it going on. Will you be on that committee?
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
I want to say hi to Danny. Another
Hello, Danny.
Facebook Live viewer here. We'll set up back on this Wolf building.
Okay, $1 million went down the toilet, flushed it. City. See, this is what.
That building's still vacant.
Yeah, I know,
In
but
fact,
that's what sucks about.
All the old Wolves. What drives me crazy about downtown Topeka
Yeah.
sometimes is these places go out of business and nobody takes down their signs. Like at 8th in Kansas, you still have signs for what was the name of it?
Tucker's?
Yeah, you still have. In fact, you even got an old Ray Beer sign, but that one's kind of cool because it's like those old signs they used to paint on the sides of buildings.
Ray Beers
Yeah,
or Tucker?
the Ray Beer sign. But none of this old signage ever comes down, so people driving into Topeka for the first time are going to see. all
Hey,
these-
Deputy Mayor, all you got to do now is bring that forward because she's not a fan of all the vacancies downtown. So and she's at least willing to vote no to stuff.
Well, I mean, if I were looking to buy camera equipment, which I kind of am, because it's been suggested to me that
You're
Maybe-
photogenic.
well, not only that, but my photos of my 10th and Topeka building could be updated a little
Oh,
bit.
did you see that one about that I
So-
posted?
So I could be in the market for a nice camera, and I could be buying one from my old friends at Wolf's. Because hey, there's Wolf's Camera. Look, a whole store that sells you nothing but cameras.
Well, they use it.
Oh, wait a minute. You mean they've been out of business for how long?
They use it as
3
a draw.
years?
They use it as a draw to bring people downtown to increase their disappointment for moving here in the first place.
Did I just roll in a turnip truck or what here,
Yeah.
Mabel?
So the people that
Where's
signed up
that there camera store
would
at?
choose Topeka. They photo they use Wolf cameras as a reason to move here and choose Topeka because they got great camera stores.
What a bitter pill to swallow.
Oh man, do you see how dysfunctional this town is?
But well, I'm just saying, does it? Okay, if did Wolves sell the building to somebody?
I don't know who owns it today. I don't know, but it's probably either Cody Foster or Jim Klossman. I don't know that for a fact.
It'd be like Henry. Let's say Henry McClure sells his personal residence to somebody.
Yeah.
And let's say there's some big thing outside saying, McClure, just so people know where you're. A lot of people do that. They put the name of the family on kind of a
and the guy leaves it there
on a stone display. But so let's say, you sell your house to Barber. So am I going to come into that house and keep your name in front of it? That's what we've done with this Wolf's building. I mean, who the hell bought it?
But let's take a step backward.
Wait. We got to say hi to Patty up in Montana.
Hello, Patty in the big sky.
One of my loyal viewers, along with Mike Davies.
I like Patty. I don't even know her.
We've got the class of '68 dialing in.
Hey, ask her. I can ask her. Hey, Patty, what's the temperature in Montana today?
Yeah, we'd like to know.
Hey, hang on. Ziggy, what's the temperature in Missoula, Montana today?
Montana's a big state, though. We should be more specific. 41.
Yeah. 41. Missoula is a beautiful town. You ever been there?
It's possible.
It's got a what? Was this back in the day?
1974. We made
took a road trip.
We made an exploration journey into Montana because that was the year that the Evel Knievel was going to jump the Snake River Canyon.
That didn't really go over too well.
So we actually stopped in Butte, Montana, to do some research, and we found this really cool.
Talk to me about this research you did back then.
Well, it mostly consisted of going to local bars.
Oh.
And talking. We actually talked to the locals in Butte.
Well, yeah, you can. Man, that's a nice place to meet people.
Many of them profess to be pretty unimpressed with the Evel Knievel.
Hang on a second. Hey, Ziggy, what's the temperature in Butte, Montana?
There you go.
It's 1 degree colder than Missoula.
But see, Butte was interesting because there's this huge open pit copper mining. Open pit
like
copper
strip
mine.
mining for copper.
Yeah, and I don't know what that thing's doing now, but it was getting so big that it was actually threatening to swallow up the outskirts of Butte.
They got to quit minting the penny.
And then this bar we were in, again, this is 1974.
And this is before the sobriety tour?
Before personal sobriety and before
abstinence.
Before the whole gambling landscape changed. This bar actually.
Did they have horse racing?
No, they had. It was like in the movies you'll see what what do you call it? A bookie parlor.
Oh yeah.
They had a big blackboard with all the results.
That's mine.
From horse races and athletic events, and they actually had a ticker tape. A real honest to God live ticker tape, which was constantly feeding scores, horse racing results, all that stuff.
A teletype.
And
ticker tape.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And somebody was actually booking all these bets. I don't know who.
They got, so it's legal now in Topeka.
Kind of thing you didn't want to ask too many questions about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to ask a lot of questions in Montana.
But since
it's
then,
open carry, right?
Yeah. Well, it's always been open carry in Montana, but since then, of course, gambling has been legalized everywhere.
I'm surprised that they haven't opened up like a betting parlor here where all the gambling junkies get together, drink. You can get the ones that are sober. We can get a coffee shop, and then over here you got the drunks, but everybody's betting. A sports book. I'm surprised that somebody hadn't done that.
Well,
Hey, that'd be a good thing for the Tucker's building there, or
absolutely.
Wolf's Camera.
Now, yeah, see, we're just throwing off ideas.
Yeah, we'll do what people do to me. Everybody everybody's got the right idea, and then okay, let's do that.
We're an idea.
How much money you got?
We're a virtual idea supernova here on the Topeka Factor. But we do have a sports betting parlor.
Where? In
at
Topeka.
The Prairie Band.
Oh
Casino,
yeah.
If you don't mind driving 15 miles to go bet on the Chiefs or whomever.
I'd go up. The food.
I hear good things about their food.
Well, I don't know. I like I have had the salmon that's pretty good. I quit eating red meat.
I went up to the steakhouse once, probably 12 years ago, and I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I took Bianca and Jade there, and we had a good meal.
In terms of steakhouses, though, we wonder if maybe my building at 10th and Topeka would not make a good steakhouse.
I think it would make a great steakhouse. I do. I think it was the other day I was talking about La Opera, but you could really, that'd be perfect for the lobbyists and
the legislators,
all the muckety mucks,
people who work downtown.
You got to do something for the employees, people, the working class. You got to have like an affordable lunch.
Right.
But,
by the way, this is the Topeka Factor.
I like that building.
Marshall Barber with the inestimable Henry McClure.
We're live here in the Glass Houses studio here.
Say hi to Carolyn.
Which one?
The physical therapist.
Oh yeah, the only reason she wants this Medicaid for everybody is just so she can get all this money guaranteed.
Get out the front door.
All right.
We expand Medicaid 70% of all Kansans.
Okay, now get out the front door.
70% want it, but your skinflint Scrooge Republican friends in the legislature.
Well, wait a minute. If 70% wanted it,
with their skinflint supermajority ignoring the will of the people, they're never going to.
Just remember that. Who won the popular vote for president this year?
Well, okay, that's for president.
Okay, but anyway, hi, nice to see you. Yeah. Merry Christmas, or is she Happy Hanukkah?
Well, she would be all of the above.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think of her more about Festivus.
Yeah. Yeah.
The list of resentments.
Oh, shut up.
Strengths of fate. Feats of strength.
Let's get back on the idea of a steakhouse. Let's also could we talk just a couple minutes about the Curtis house?
No, we can, but real quick. Curtis, let's talk about how much rent do we got to get out of the
Barber building?
Yeah.
At 10th and Topeka.
Let's talk about that.
That owner is actually willing to do some pretty creative things with his lease. In other words, he's asking a pretty typical amount, 17 a square foot.
Now, does that include the triple net fees?
Yeah.
Or is triple net on top?
On top.
Okay.
But
so what's the?
Here's what he'll do.
Let's hear it.
He will consider a drastically reduced rent in the vicinity of maybe $9 a square foot,
in lieu of giving any TI,
and then work out a percentage of the gross type thing.
Yeah.
So if you make money, he makes money. But if you don't make money, your exposure is limited to $9 a square foot.
That guy.
That's not a bad deal.
That guy wants to lease that space.
Yes.
That's a good deal. So do you know how to figure out the break point on that?
No.
Okay. And then also too.
What do you mean by break point?
Of where he starts getting the percentage rent.
Oh, I see. No, we haven't discussed that.
Okay, well, let's get that out on the table.
We have not discussed
because here's the thing.
We have something more than an imaginary steakhouse.
If it's a sit-down steakhouse, you probably go to 4 or 5% depending on the margin of the restaurant. Okay, and usually the more high-end people run on a little thinner margin. But like if it was a fast food, quick service restaurant, it goes 8 to 10%.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What do you suppose the margin at Longhorn Steakhouse is? Just a
Well,
guess.
if it were a percentage of sales, that deal is going to be somewhere around 5%.
Okay. Because I was just reading today that the stock price for the Darden Corporation has gone up a lot.
Well, Darden doesn't own Longhorn, do they?
They do. That's what this
Oh, okay.
article says.
I met the guy that owns Texas Roadhouse the other night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar outfit. Only Texas Roadhouse is really loud, and
I like the
Longhorn's kind of quiet. But
I like Texas Roadhouse.
Well, here's another area where we disagree. He likes Texas Roadhouse. I like Longhorn.
Where do you sit in Longhorn? I like to go to Longhorn, just sit at the bar.
Except, well, we've done that. Except, during the summertime, Longhorn is just freezing because of all these people who can't take a little heat. They must set their thermostat at 60. Because I've gone in there in the summertime and had to layer up.
How old are you? Hey, I have. Hey, Ryan. I hate to tell you, but no, I set my. It's easier to cool this place, but I like it cool. When I owned
This
pizza
place is fine,
today,
just the way it is right now.
I cooled down a little.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're here in the Glass Houses studio. We're talking about real estate.
Topeka Factor Real Estate.
Look at our attention span. We could have. It would really be easy for us to get people to sponsor our show because we have so many places we segue.
Well, yeah. I mean,
An MD can do that. He can cut that.
In addition to being advisory board material, we are open to sponsorship.
This guy is my advisory board. I really, I try to get him to do a Topeka Factor daily. I don't think we'd ever run out of stuff to talk about.
Well, I think we could do a daily Topeka Factor, except on Saturday, maybe.
Yeah, that's fine.
When we would
And Sunday.
On Saturdays, we'd do the Harveyville Factor.
Oh, I saw his girl the other day at Sam's.
We'd go out to.
Hey, we got to get.
We'd go out to Harveyville and see Rick about.
Hey, speaking of banking, did you hear
banking,
about the big merger between Heritage and Fidelity?
What? You're
Yes.
kidding me.
Yeah, and I think
You are kidding.
I'm not kidding you.
Heritage and Fidelity?
Yes, and I think Heritage consumed Fidelity.
Holy discount points.
Yes.
As opposed to holy,
Yeah.
Heritage.
From what I
Fidelity.
understand, I mean, when I think about it,
Well,
I would think that Jim would end up with owning the whole
you would
thing.
think, because
Yeah.
they're probably.
He doesn't want to work for anybody.
We're just thinking out loud here, but and maybe our Harveyville correspondent could.
Buzz in. Does
Go
he ever
Brooklyn.
watch the Topeka Factor?
He's watching right now, buddy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. At least he probably was until you insulted him. No.
How did I insult him?
No. But listen.
Oh, hey, Donald Trump's president. Did he get that news in Harveyville yet?
That news is just the news flash is descending.
Yeah, he probably didn't even know Trump got elected president in Harveyville.
Well, now he knows.
Yeah.
But what would be the which bank do you suppose is more heavily capitalized, Heritage or Fidelity?
Well, I mean, if you look at the family that owns Fidelity, Fidelity would be.
Really?
But I think that what you come to, since Andy died, maybe I think that Intrust would probably be more willing to give up the Topeka market.
Interest?
Yeah, Andy married into the Intrust family.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Okay.
Andy Chandler was probably the richest guy in Topeka.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, probably Howard Paul second.
I used to, down at the old YMCA in the YMCA days when lots of folks from the downtown community went to the YMCA.
Yeah. My dad's on the wall.
I used to have a locker. I'd be right next door to Andy when we were both getting dressed and getting ready to work out. Which, by the way, I do have to at some point leave to go get my work. What time is it?
It's going on 5 o'clock.
Yeah, we're getting there. Okay.
Well, let's talk more about real estate.
So when's
But
the,
I'd love to know if Rick knows about who
yeah,
became the
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
or
Rick,
we
we
could
want to
call
know,
Jimbo.
huh?
We could call Jimbo.
But yeah, that's interesting.
Well, you
Uh,
know Tony really well, don't you?
yeah, I do. Tony and I had some, when he was at Call Valley, we used to have some interesting discussions about disposing of the property of some of his all-star clients.
That'd
But
be a good place.
um, you got me derailed there, buddy. Uh,
Why do you have some loans that you're
I
worried
had a
about?
thought that I was going to share, but you derailed it.
Come on, think about it. What do you got?
Things that can happen to real estate deals. Check this one out.
Is that actually an article?
Yes, the Curtis house had sold, and
What's the snag?
actually the state is ready to buy it from the estate of the people who bought it and fixed it up.
What's the snag?
The snag, this is really interesting. Under the decades old state law authorizing purchase of the home, the Attorney General's office must first have examined the abstract of title and deed to such land. The only
Well,
problem,
Kobach knows how to read.
huh? The
Go-
only problem being, well, uh, there is no abstract of title for the property. You know that one was done at some point, probably.
Well, there's an abstract. You know who you got to call is David Scott at David Scott would
That's
know.
what I do.
Yeah, I'd start with David Scott,
I would.
or just talk to our Register of Deeds. Becky's got that information.
Right.
Yeah, and what you do to meet that title requirement, just get the last known abstract, because there came a point in time where title insurance started doing stuff differently, and you didn't.
Well, this isn't really a title requirement.
No, I know, but I was just saying. Oh, it's a law.
Yeah, it's a law.
So in order to comply with the law, you just get the last known abstract. Chris reads it, done deal.
If you can find it.
Yeah, you can find it somewhere.
You
Dave
would
Scott
think.
could find it, or Becky could find it.
There were some people named Cottrell. I hope I'm not mispronouncing
Cantrell?
that. No, Cottrell, that bought that property and did a really nice job fixing it up. They'd originally had it on the market for $750,000, and eventually the
250.
the legislature authorized a purchase of $300,000, and after the county appraised it at $240,000. That's the Curtis house, you know, with the dome and everything on Topeka, and the state wants to.
Have you read Deb's book yet
I have not.
about Curtis?
I'm about 20 books behind right now.
Me too. I got to read the book Paint
I want to
Houses.
say hi to Randy and Rod.
Hello,
and
Randy and
Jerry
Rod, Jerry.
and Indus. Folks, this is really a pretty good time for the Topeka Factor on my Facebook Live, because people, you know, at the end of the day, may be more likely to tune in than they are while they're at work.
Yeah, you've got a good following. People
So-
like you.
They should, but I don't know why.
They got no reason to not like me.
Well,
Hey, I got to make it clear to my people and people watching, the retirement of the real estate license was only going to be if I won county commissioner,
mhm.
because I didn't want to. I wanted to be diligent and
Well,
and
you want to do a
no conflict of interest.
Yeah.
yeah. But hey, I'm full bore in it. I'm catching up with everything, going
So-
through my emails.
Let me just ask a question.
Ask.
Looking out to what is it, 2026, the next city election?
Yes,
And the next county election?
yes,
So if you become mayor,
yes.
you'll forgo your real estate.
No.
license. No?
No, because I'm following a guy down in Texas that is a mayor. Well, plus it's a part-time job.
Oh, yeah, what's it pay?
40 grand to be the mayor.
So-
he makes 40 grand.
So if I decide to run for the
You get
city
20.
council, I can only get 20?
Yeah.
Well, screw that.
Well, you said you were going to retire.
Huh? Well,
You don't have to retire your license.
I can't live on 20 grand a
No.
year.
No, I can't
Huh?
either.
What do they expect me to do?
I mean, your coffee bill
Huh?
alone.
20 grand a year, I'm sacking groceries part-time.
and stealing what you can.
That's what Roger N. Wilson used to do when he was the news guy at Channel 13, WIBW.
He sacked groceries,
He had this real problem with how much he was getting paid,
right?
and and he just made it. He got a job sacking groceries. I think it was at Dibbles, so he could tell everybody, yeah, those guys aren't paying me enough.
Oh man, that was back when my dad was the general counsel to Stauffer.
The theater of self-pity.
Oh
you know?
man.
It's just
Oh wait,
so unfair. These people just aren't treating me right.
I worked for John Dibble when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Remember Save More Foods?
Yeah, I do remember Save More
Yeah.
Foods, but I remember Dibbles
Yeah,
a little
but
more.
Dibble owned Save More.
I did not know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And then at that time, he lived one door down from this guy. You know, he lives on the country club
Right.
golf course. Oh man, did you see what Marcus Miller said?
What did Marcus Miller say?
Sitting there on city council, he
Yeah.
said, "Hey, if you're getting kickbacks and stealing from the city, you're not welcome in this town."
What?
Yes,
Who did he say that to?
the public.
Okay. So is he saying that there's somebody out there currently?
Well, wouldn't the inference be in that direction?
I mean, why would he say that?
Look, that's a bold statement.
Yeah.
He's
You're not-
part of the Doge.
Huh?
I want to invite him to be
Is he
part
of the Doge?
Yeah, Shawnee County Doge.
Okay.
You know, I bought ShawneeCountyDoge.com.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, so I got that going for me.
That's
It's all marketing.
oh, well, can we talk a little bit
We
about
can
the
talk
Shawnee
about
County
whatever you want.
housing market? You
Yeah, let's get these statistics
you
out.
asked me to get these actual
I want to
facts.
talk about real estate.
Shawnee County
I always distract the guy.
real estate true facts here.
Let's hear it.
Okay. This is directly from your local board of realtors, which is a 2-syllable word.
Sunflower Board of Realtors.
Not a 3-syllable word.
Okay.
It's not realtors, it's realtors.
Realtor.
Anyway, yeah, the Sunflower Board, these are actual facts. The average sold price, $230,069.
Average sold price.
Yes, as opposed to the median sold price, which is $200,750. That means all transactions, half of them were over that, half of them were under that.
Okay.
So that's your over under. The number of sold houses year to date, 3,258,
In all of Shawnee County.
and that's
Or
That's-
is that the whole system of Sunflower?
that's the whole kit
Does
and
that
caboodle.
Does that include Lawrence?
Yeah, that's the whole enchilada. No, it does not include Lawrence.
Okay, but it would include like
It includes
Like your
Osage
farmland.
County, Jackson County, Coffee County, Emporia.
But if you're a member of the Board of Realtors and you list something in Abilene, can you put it on our MLS?
you could.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So John Coffey, you're out.
Right. Sorry. The average list to sell ratio, this is always an interesting statistic, is 96.7.
Whoa, so every property that gets listed, 96.7 of them sell.
No, that's the average list to sell price ratio. So that means like if you list your house for 100 grand, the average is 96,700.
Oh,
So if someone brings you a deal on your house and it's 97% a list, then that's slightly above average.
okay.
There's still a lot of houses that are selling for 100% a list.
So talk about how long they're on the market.
The average listing period now, average days on market's 26.
Wow,
26 days.
those are incredible
That's
numbers.
the average. Yeah.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around, the need for housing, because what's so ludicrous about where they spend money on economic development. So I've been a site selector in my life, and I've dealt with site selectors. When you've got 3.4% unemployment, we're not even on the radar screen of people to choose Topeka because everybody's working. So, Molly always goes, jobs, jobs, jobs. It's going to create jobs. Well, she just spent all this money on Cody Foster's building. It didn't create any jobs.
Which building was that?
The AT&T building.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, it didn't create jobs, and it may never even create a tenant.
Is anybody in that building?
I don't know. You'd have to call Mike Morris. Mike's connected with the Greater Topeka Partnership, and that firm is they're big into the Go Topeka. They know all that stuff.
Well, okay. What about there's this other building that's always intrigued me.
Sorry, Ed.
On Quincy, I think it was a telephone company building, and it's a real big building.
Oh yeah.
And nobody's sign is in it right now. It's kind of across the street from what used to be.
I think it's just full of asbestos. I don't know.
It's across the street from the intercity transit facility.
Yeah, I know
That
what
part
building.
of Quincy,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's just been sitting there, full of asbestos.
I think so.
He says.
But we got to put,
I
maybe
say hi to Dennis.
which Dennis?
Dennis Stallings.
Hello,
He's
Dennis.
stalling for time. Okay. Well, how about when you talk about housing,
Yes, sir. That's what I wanted to talk about.
I would be interested in knowing what the I guess median income isn't the right word. Maybe average income, but
We can get those statistics. I just need an assignment.
the large number of rental properties in the core area, like you drive down Buchanan or Lincoln,
Okay.
Central Park.
So right after I did the College
because
Hill
what I'm interested
TIF
in,
project,
yeah, you did that project,
I showed you the Central Park.
and then you've got
Home ownership was 19% in that area.
19%.
Yeah. In
Wow.
yeah, you only had so from Lane to 17th to Topeka Boulevard to Huntoon, in that box, you only had 19% home ownership.
That's the area that the police used to call the box.
The box.
Yeah.
And so that's where, what we need to do is we need to start making some sweeping changes. I mean, urban renewal type changes where, okay, look, we're going to branch out here and we're going to build some affordable, either multifamily or houses, but we got to clean out that area so we can come in and demo it. They've taken the oldest building stock and then they've bastardized it into duplexes, threeplexes, fourplexes, and it sucks. Who's on the bottom of there? Do you see that little name right there?
Where?
Or is that me? Oh, we don't have anybody tuned in right now. I do good on my show like late at night, a late night
Okay.
show.
Late night with Henry McClure.
I'm telling you,
Uh,
I make a show sometimes before I go home.
when it comes to everybody's talking about housing needs.
Yes.
Everybody. Housing. So the question becomes, at least to me, when you have entities like HUD pulling their low income rental aid,
Because the guy didn't run it right.
well, it almost sounds like something straight out of the Sopranos, where they get all this HUD money and then don't do anything with it. And you've got sewage rising in the basements.
It's a no-show job.
Yeah, obviously.
It's like the landlord's a no-show landlord.
But this is, yeah. Well, absentee landlords. Is that not a problem? Tell me I'm wrong, sports fans.
Well, Doge,
Huh?
tell Elon Musk about it. And
What do we do about absentee like Lou McGinnis?
oh man, did you see that thing? All the trash.
Yeah, I took a picture of the library park.
And here's the thing: the city of Topeka
Well, what can
didn't
they do?
record the TIF agreement or the development agreement of College Hill.
Oh yeah, because University Heights.
Because if he would have come in, the city would have had the choice to not let him buy College Hill. Okay, you want to buy College Hill? We'll bring every property you already own up to code.
Really?
That was in the original agreement, but the city didn't record it.
They did not record.
They did, so it didn't show up as a deed exception.
As a deed restriction.
Yeah.
Or as a title requirement.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And hey, I've done my community service. When I take his job, I'm still going to be a real estate guy.
Wow. So had
If I did.
because Lou McGinnis came along with Eucalyptus Properties
Yes.
and bought that project,
Yes.
which had a TIF agreement,
And yes.
and had they required him,
So the city literally had the right of approving the sale.
this is important, people. Take a note of this.
So the city could have said, no, that buyer doesn't qualify to buy the property because all his other properties have a list of code violations. So you give Lou McGinnis a notice period and say, look, if you bring all your properties up to code, then we'll approve the sale.
So the city, if the TIF agreement had been recorded, the city would have had the power to either approve or disapprove a sale.
Right. It would have been, or if they would have made him aware of it at the time of sale. But the recording of it, it's indisputable.
That it didn't get recorded?
Well, if it was recorded, it was, and there's another project that they didn't record the TIF agreement and the development agreement, and I went down to city council and made comment about it.
Can we say what project that was?
Wheatfield. I mean,
Okay.
Jim they had all the reports.
Mm-hmm.
They just needed to do it. And it was an oversight. I'll give him a pass on that one.
Okay.
You know what's funny? I could call Jim up and get a meeting with him and talk to him easier than that guy.
So
He's never returned a phone call of mine. See, that's such bullshit. This guy has never returned a phone call.
return your phone calls, Mayor. Come on. Now, but let's stay on this TIF agreement thing for a minute. You're
I'm
saying
thinking about calling him.
when you're no, don't call
All right.
him. Please don't call him.
All right.
If you don't call him, you know what'll probably happen is he'll call you.
Okay.
That's the Zen.
Hey, Mike, 785-383-9994.
That's the Zen of return phone.
Yeah, I
calls.
got nothing to say to
The
him.
more you bug somebody, the less likely he is to call you back. But
That's bullshit.
I'm just, it's not bullshit, it's life. But sometimes
You
life
know,
is
hey,
bullshit.
and life is not fair.
But okay, well, so let me ask you this: what was the company that did the original deal on College Hill? What was it called?
Washburn Lane Parkway LLC. I own 20% of it.
Okay, so when that LLC started this TIF agreement,
Yes.
that's when it was supposed to be recorded.
No. At the upon completion of the sale, or on completion of the development agreement being completed.
Okay.
Okay. So that would have been at the very beginning of the project. After you reach a development agreement and the TIF is all approved, you go and record it.
Okay.
Because that's what the city of Topeka should have done.
When you guys were doing it.
Yes.
Okay, and it never got recorded.
It never got recorded.
And
Well,
you-
then
but you
Karen
guys-
Hiller blamed me for it.
Oh, okay. Now we know who's to blame.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Well, because everybody blames Henry.
Some people claim that Henry's to blame, but I know it's my own damn fault.
Oh man, what is that? Margaritaville?
Yeah.
No, is that some?
Some people claim there's
Some
a woman
people
to blame,
claim there's
but
a
I
woman-
know.
Is my own damn
Jimmy
fault.
Buffett became a mega millionaire in real estate. Did you know
Really?
that? Oh yeah.
Did
He
he do a
developed- he-
TIF project?
He could. I'm sure he could open up a few eyes with regard to things like that because he developed these communities called Margaritaville
Wasted away in
for
Margaritaville.
retired people.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, you buy in for a couple $1 million, and
Did you like margaritas?
I never really was much of a fan.
I just like the tequila.
I was pretty much a beer and whiskey guy.
What whiskey?
Just Jim Beam or whatever.
All right.
Nothing.
I
nothing
digress.
Too fancy. So this TIF agreement never did get recorded.
No, it never did get recorded.
and it's your fault.
Well, so says
How
Karen
was it-
Hiller.
Why was it supposedly your fault?
Well, because I'm the first
But wait a minute.
scapegoat.
Do you have a sign? This sounds like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Do you have a sign around your neck saying Register of Deeds?
No, but what I'm
Why the F were you supposed to record?
well, it was a private-public partnership.
Yeah.
I blame it on Jerry Morgan.
Yeah, Jerry.
He signed it too.
Come on, Jerry.
He should have recorded
Do
it.
your effing job, Jerry.
Yeah. I mean, he was all concerned about everything, and there isn't anybody that should have been more concerned about how we operated it than Jerry.
Yeah.
So, but I really want to blame Karen Hiller
Okay.
because she blamed me.
All right.
And,
So now we know.
but she sits up there today and she was still, well, we're still learning how to run a hotel at the taxpayer expense.
Why? Okay, so where in the
I think it's time for Karen to retire too.
it's probably time for me to head for the gym, but I guess another question.
Tell me about your workout.
Another question could be, where does it say in the requirements for being a city council person that you're supposed to be developing expertise in hotel management?
0. Well, we learned about.
I think Scott Wilson would agree with me.
I think we learned about title work today.
Yes, and we learned.
Were you waving it, Scott?
We learned
Was that
about
what that little wave was?
HUD financing.
Hello, Scott.
And well, just another one of our many minions here on Facebook Live.
Minions.
Yes.
We've got a watcher.
We have those. So this program is being recorded and it's going on YouTube.
No, we're going out live.
We're live on YouTube.
But MD in a minute will download it.
Okay.
And he'll put search engine optimization and then load it to my YouTube channel.
Okay. And then people can watch it there.
Yeah.
If you want to watch this again.
Well, or you can watch it on my page.
Because I can hit finish here. Anytime.
Yeah, finish. You turn it off. And then do you save it where it's never deleted?
It runs for 30 days.
Okay. But there's a way to save it and never delete it.
Really?
Yeah. Here. You turn it off.
I'm turning it off.
Okay, turn it off.
So I just want to.
Here, just give me the phone.
Just
let me show you.
Just let me say real quick, this will be terminating today's broadcast of the Topeka Factor on my personal Facebook page. Thank you, good night, and good luck.
All right, give me your phone. Okay, now watch.
Okay, see, now I hit.
Hang on.
I ended the live
So
broadcast.
look, delete settings. Never delete.
No, there you go. Okay, this one.
So now for posterity's sake, you've got all your videos.
That's a good one.
All right, so he's got to go. He's got a big workout, and
Well, I did 40 push-ups earlier, so now I'm going to do dips.
how many dips can you do?
Oh, not very many. I mean, I do like 25, but they're not full all the way down dips. My shoulders aren't going to let me do that.
I got it.
But I do some dips. I do some bench presses, incline bench presses.
It's a good gym.
Do some dumbbell flies because I'm pretty fly for an old guy.
All right, the Topeka Factor is a show produced on the fly. We're live. You guys, you want to say goodbye? Shake a hand every day. What's that one?
Shake a hand every day. Don't forget to pray.
There you go. Amen.